So hello everyone and welcome to today's Thursday Live. I am Denise Armenio, certified emotion code, body code, quantum healing practitioner, group energy healer practitioner, and of course, genius biofeedback practitioner. And I am so excited to be here each and every Thursday teaching you the ins and outs of the genius and working with volunteers just to see how incredible this technology is. I also want to welcome and thank Claire McIntyre for being here with me, and she helps man the chats. So if you have any questions and I can't get to them directly, she will help answer your question. So today I thought I would do something a little bit different. Instead of working directly with the genius today, we are going to be working with the Odyssey standalone app. It works similar to the Genius, but it's kind of more of a, I would call it a point and shoot, where you have less control over what it's doing. It just basically does a voice scan like the Genius does. And then it has preset programs and preset times. There aren't as many programs, but these programs are include a lot. I don't have the exact everything that's included in each program. That would be from the people that wrote it, know all that. You don't really need to know that information. Just know that if you're dealing with the brain or you're dealing with hormones, it's covering everything, all of those frequencies with it. So the other thing that I love about the Odyssey, because it is easy to use when you don't have a lot of time to dig in and kind of be your own detective like you are with the Genius. I also love using it with the PEMF wearable. And this is such a great accessory. If you don't have one, I always highly recommend it. I know it, it is, I believe this is the PEMF is $7.99, Claire. It's $7.99, so it is expensive, but it is worth every penny of it. Not only does it send the PEMF waves through it, but it also has the infrared red light, and the Genius frequencies go through it, as well as the frequencies that are generated from the Odyssey app. So it really packs a big punch when you're working with those two devices. So it takes it kind of two notches higher than if you were listening to the audio. So if you're listening to the audio with the Genius, your next bump up would be like the Geo harness bracelets that are wired. And then again, another bump up would be the PEMF. So I highly recommend this. If you don't have it, it is great to add to your toolbox. If you do purchase this, the Odyssey app does come with it, or you can purchase the Odyssey app as a standalone app if you're not interested in the PEMF at this point in time. But if you could swing it, I would recommend doing both, because you get them both included. And I think the Odyssey price, Claire, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's $3.99 for the Odyssey app.
Yeah.
Standalone. So anyway, it is definitely worth it if you wanted to buy the two together. It is a bit of a savings. So without further ado, let me share my screen and bring the Odyssey up for you so you can see it. Now, the Odyssey is a little bit different from the Genius in the sense that you don't enter a name or a birth date. So it is sort of geared towards just being used as like in-person use, because you would connect who's ever there up to it. It would be their voice. But I always go by intention is very powerful. So if you are wanting to work with someone, and even though you're not putting in their name or their birth date, like the genius, if that is your intention, that will go through the quantum field. Sometimes that's a little bit harder to get your head around, but it does work. I have done Odyssey sessions remotely like that. Again, it's your intention. Some people may also like to proxy. And what I mean by proxy is they basically state that they are, so and so, and it would be their voice that they're doing on their behalf. I don't love that method as much. For me, I know plenty of people do that, and that's fine. I just like to keep my energy field clear and not bring in anybody's energy into my energy field. That's, my choice. That's how I help keep my energetic hygiene as best as possible, because when we're doing this line of work, it is really, really important that you clear your energy routinely. If you can clear in between each client, that's really highly recommended, because sometimes, there's just that exchange of energy and you could pick up negative energy. So I always would recommend you to do that. So anyway, with that being said, well, let's see, I can't see let me bring my chat up. So, I was going to do this session on myself. However, I just kind of got the intuition that maybe we should demo this remotely so that you guys can actually see the power of it working remotely. So is there someone who would like to be a volunteer today? That's
CC.
Cece. Okay. Would love to have you here, Cece. So is there anyone else that has never, I know Cece, I know that you've been a volunteer before, so I'm happy to have you. I guess this is a new product, so I'm happy to have you be here with us. I'm sorry, the controls are like covering my screen so much. You just have to give me a second here. Okay. So Cece, can you just unmic for a minute, please?
I am.
Okay. Oh, and Karen, I'm sorry. I'm just seeing you say that you will too. Well, maybe we'll do this
Go
another,
ahead.
but okay.
We'll let Karen do it.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. We can get Karen another week. So Cece, you kind of know the drill here, but for anybody that's new, when we do the voice analysis, we will say our full name. If you don't want to say your full name, because this will be shared on YouTube, you can just repeat the vowels. I understand, and it will still work. The intention is for this to work remotely for you, Cece. So anyway, let's start with your recording. I'm going to count you down. So 3, 2, 1, begin.
A-E-I-O-U. 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 A-E-I-O-U.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to hit scan. And do you guys hear the sound? I forget if I hit, no, you're not. Okay, hold on. Now you should be able to hear it. Okay, so now I'm just going to hit next. Okay, so this is really nice. I love this part on the Odyssey. I love that it posts a medical disclaimer up front. I do think it's always important to read it. So I will just do my due diligence here. And I'm just going to say this app generates musical tones and frequencies for entertainment purposes only. This app is not intended for use in the diagnosis, treatment, cure, or prevention of any disease, medical condition, physical or psychological disorder. This app is for entertainment purposes only. This app should not be considered a replacement for medical advice or any treatment. Always seek medical advice from your local medical care advisor. If you have a serious, acute, or chronic health concern, please consult a trained health professional who can fully assess your needs and address them effectively. So I am going to agree. I am not going to hit don't show me that again because I like that to pop up every time I work with a client or someone so that they can see that. So I'm going to hit let's proceed. Okay, so first, before we go on with the scan part, and the thing that's going to be a little bit different, so we're going to have to like kind of play this by ear a little bit, is some of these playlists are longer and they're set times. So we're not going to be able to sit here, CC, and run, a 30-minute program on you. So we will go through a little bit and we'll go through what shows up for you, but I won't run it the whole time for you, which is still okay because, listen, people are going to have benefits if they run it the whole time. I'm also doing this work for so long and using the Genius app, and I know how much of a difference just 30 seconds can make. So I trust that even if we play these shorter than what the timed amount says, that you will still get a benefit from it. Before we do continue any further, is there anything specific that you want to work on today? You kind of know the drill where I kind of like to see if there's anything physical or emotional or something where you might possibly be some symptom that you might be able to see a noticeable or some kind of shift or measurable change at the end. What would you like to work with?
I am still having this whole thing with my, um, not my chest. There's just a cough. I'm having a cough and some dizziness, and that is not going away. I've never had it anything last this long.
Okay, and so on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being severe, how would you rate the cough and the dizziness if you could rate them separately if possible?
Well, the cough is a lot less, so that's about 3.
Okay.
Um, and the just feeling out of sorts. I don't know. I don't normally feel this way, so I'd probably say a 6.
Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to take you through a little bit so we can see what's, available in these different sections. And then I'll get down to what came up for you on this scan, just because this is new and I want everybody to get a chance to see it. So we have Balance My Nutrition. Now you can expand this and you can see that there are several different programs in here and each one is about 5 minutes long. So these aren't terribly long, but if you do run the whole program, I'm not going to do the math all in my head, but you can tell this is, a good amount of time that you would be listening to this for.
Can
It
I
is
just ask you a
important.
question? Did you do a scan or something, and that's what brought up those lists? I missed that part.
I did want to scan, but you won't see
Mhm.
the playlist that it recommends for you until I hit this voice.
Okay. Okay.
That's a little deceiving on this. Like it's already kind of done the analysis. But anyway, that's what you press. It, I don't think
Okay.
this saying that is very intuitive what it reads, but whatever.
I've just never seen this before, so.
So no, great question. Great question for sure. So you could select all of them if that's what you wanted to do. So in other words, you could run these programs without doing a scan. If you said, you know what, I just want to work on my nutrition today, I'm really going to forego what the Odyssey says I should work on, what the priority is. I just want to work on these things. You can do that. That is your choice. You could do that. You can select specifically what things you want to work on, and that's all great. And then you would just select them and hit Start Odyssey. It is important to look through though what these are because like in this Balance My Nutrition, it does want you to start here first. So if you wanted to do all these before you would hit select all, it wants you to select nutrition, which is general nutrition, start here first. So I would run that first for the 5 minutes. And then at that point, you could either select all and run all of them, or you can just select a few, or um, um, somebody may want to mute on that, with whoever had that on. I'm just going to collapse this for a minute. Then we have brain pain. Now, this doesn't go into any detail. So, I would always recommend, if you're just going to do this on your own, that you select all. If you have the time to run it, this is going to be about a total of what, 21, maybe 25 minutes, a little under 25 minutes. It's brain pain, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. If you're going to ask me what is covered under those different phrases, I don't know, that isn't given to us. But it does cover all brain ailments. So you are covering soup to nuts. You just don't know in which phase you're covering it. So just know that it's, anything that would cause brain pain is going to be covered in here. I just don't know in what phase. So I would select it all if you're not using what the Odyssey has determined to show as a specific one for you. To look at brain reboot, again, this is brain stimulation. There's only one option here at 17 minutes. So that's kind of a no-brainer. Clear my inner terrain. Again, you would want to start with the general inner terrain cleanse first. That's about 20 minutes. And then you can go back and you could select all, or you could select just one, depending on what, how much time you have. You may not always have, since these are longer programs, all that time to sit there and work with it. This one, the common cold. So Cece, there's very possible that we'll see how good the Odyssey is when it comes to see if this will show up for you, but this goes into different types, the lungs, bronchial mucus. You can select them all, and the common cold program is about 18 minutes on its own. And then so the one was the common cold that has to deal with respiratory in the chest. The other one is with a head cold. And you can see the ears are in there a little bit. We have your deep sleep program. Again, there are 10 phases to this. I don't know what is specifically covered under each of those phases, but this program isn't terribly long. Each one is about, let's say, on the average 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes each. So that's not so bad. Full moon. This program, I believe, has to do with if your work, I believe, I have to double check on this, guys, but I believe this is great to run before the full moon. It would be great for having parasites or things like that, things that might become active before the full moon. So that is a good program for that. It's a good time right now to be playing that, actually. Higher self. Again, this has to do more on the spiritual side, on all higher consciousness. And as you can see, there are about 20 different programs in here. And it's not too bad. They're not too long. Mindfulness. So this is dealing with the central nervous system. Again, brain toner, it wants you to start here first. So if you want to dive into mindfulness, just make sure you start with the brain toner first. You have fungus and mold. So you have the 4 different phases there. You have your hormones now. So for hormones, you have lower, middle, and upper. So it would be the hormones that are produced in the lower portion of your body, the middle portion of your body, and the upper portion of your body. There's no other specifics to that. So that's generally how it's divided up. Your well-being. There's only one program here, and that's just relax, 33 minutes. So that's a nice program. That's probably really nice one if you're meditating to run that program. That's what I would recommend. We have music to detox. So again, this is a longer set of programs. These are each 33 minutes long, so it is quite a bit of time. You're looking at several hours here to go through this. And it is important, again, that you watch if you want to work with the emotions. You want to work with emotion 1 before you click emotion 2. So you wouldn't want it to run. You would really want to be specific on how you ran those to make sure that you're running brain 1 first and then brain 2 and so forth. There is a program that has to do with karma in there. So there's some really great stuff in this program. Balance and harmony. Now we're looking more at your organs, different systems, endocrine, reproductive, the gallbladder, liver. Again, general stimulation, you want to start here first. So again, I'm just gonna, remind you, please look through these. And if there is something that says start here first, please do. That will enhance the benefit of each of these sessions. Pain management. Again, you're dealing with acute pain, chronic, general, neuropathic, somatic, visceral pain. I'm going to not say this word right, so I'm just going to pass on it. Let me let some people in here. And then finally, we have positivity, and this again is upliftment. Again, this would probably be great to run if you're doing a meditation, to run it in the background. So that's just a little run through of what is in the Odyssey. Now let's just click the voice scan part. Okay. So what I was thinking in my head before is I would really love this to say analysis, because you already did the voice scan part of it. And now after you did the voice scan, now you want to analyze it. So voice scan, hitting voice scan there is a little misleading in my opinion, but just think of that as analysis right here. So now is where it's going to do the drop downs to show what is coming up for you, CC. So we see that organ balance and hormone is coming back. The programs in here that are shown are the gallbladder, mental, sensory. Look at that, the common cold, chest cold. Isn't that remarkable how that works? So intention, 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 right? Here are your lungs. So we're certainly going to look at that. And we also have a brain pain. Now, I wish we can run these all for the amount of time that it says, but I'm just going to run through these manually for you. And I'm just going to run it a few seconds. So I'm not going to, I'm going to, let's see, 1, 2, and 4. I just want to write this down because I don't want to do it. I want to do like 30 seconds from each one. And this can be like our own little experiment here because we are really cutting down. Well, brain phase 2, we'll just play the whole thing because that's only 32 seconds. But let's start with brain phase 1. And I'm just going to select start Odyssey here, and I'll play this for about 30 seconds for you. Okay, we're not going to get any kind of rectification in here just because I'm not playing it for any set amount of time. Hold on, I just want to see. Tammy is asking on the start, her first ones, do we deselect that one after running it when using select all after? Tammy, I hope how I'm doing it right now is actually answering your question. I'm a little bit confused by your question, but because I'm not running through the whole length of these programs, I am just going to do it a little bit at a time. I hope that makes sense. So now I'm just going to run the brain phase 2 for the full 32 seconds. Okay, and then we're going to deselect that, and I believe it was 4 was the last one. So I'm going to play this again for 30 seconds for you. Okay, so now I'm just going to select the ones that it showed initially, but now I'm going to go down to the common cold, which you will need. Let's start with the antiseptic. Again, I'm going to run that for 30 seconds, and then it's lungs and mucus, the last 2. So let's run this now for you for 30 seconds. Okay, so now deselect that. The lungs and bronchial, I'm going to run this for 1 minute for you since, that's where you're having a little bit more of an issue with your cough. So I'm going to start that one now. Okay. Ooh, I really felt that one. I don't know about anybody else, but those really felt those tones. Were those feeling for you, Cece?
Uh, incredible. I can feel
Good,
them intensely. Yeah.
good, good. Okay, and now let's play the mucus for 30 seconds on you. Okay. And again, let me just plug in what was came up. And then finally, the last thing that was like the priority thing to come up for you was the organ balance and harmony. And we can see that there's gallbladder, liver, mental, emotional, energetic, sensory, integumentary system. So those things that came up. But before I start with those, and let me just write these down. I'm going to deselect these, and I am just going to do the general stim because it says to start here first. You don't have to do this. This is how I prefer to do it. It's kind of like in the thought process when we work with the Genius on like the primer. This is what's going to help prime these other programs for you. So even though it didn't show up as what you really needed, I still want to give you that a little bit just to support your body and give you some of those. So we're just going to run those for 30 seconds. Huh. I didn't think I hit the screen, but it was right around 30 seconds, so it stopped. There is a question coming in from David, and he says, do you use the Odyssey with earphones, remedy plates, etc., or just on its own? Absolutely. You can definitely, listening it with earphones is definitely great. Or you can take out your PEMF and use it, connects Bluetooth. You won't hear the sounds with this unless you're doing Bluetooth and you have Bluetooth. I don't, Karen, you would be a better person to ask. Can you connect Bluetooth? I don't think you could connect multiple Bluetooths at the same time. You can't.
Just the one. Just the
Yeah,
one.
you would just do the PEMF and hook that up. But that's really great. Or if you want to hook up the remedy plate and you can infuse water, or if you have your Bluetooth, your PEMF, of course, you could always infuse your water this way, which is always helpful. Okay, so let's get back to the organ balance here. So let's go to the gallbladder, and we're going to run that for 30 seconds. And we have Jennifer telling us that she loves her PEMF and Odyssey. I am so glad. It's so great to hear that. Okay, we work with the gallbladder. Now, we wanted to work with the mental. So again, we're going to do that for 30 seconds. And Karen says she makes sure she has the Helix Blinken audio splitter ports that can do remedy plate and listen to at the same time. Yes. So if you want to listen with headphones and use a remedy plate with that Blinken where you can put in more than one audio jack, that's always a good time saver, killing one bird more than, well, you know the saying, killing a few birds with one stone. Hopefully not, but you know what I mean. I guess I stopped it again. Just my trackpad is very, very sensitive. It stopped it, but there are no accidents. So it's time to move on. So now we can go to sensory and we'll run that for 30 seconds. Okay, I don't know how many seconds that was, but it's kind of stopping on its own, guys. I'm not really sure what's going on with my computer. It's a little do 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 do. Okay, I just want to click on the 3 that showed up. Now, I do want to show you that I chose to go through and run the programs kind of like this manually, but if you selected go to playlist, you will then see everything that came up. So these are the programs that came up, but then you don't have the flexibility to run them one at a time. So in this situation, you would just hit start Odyssey and it would run through all of these programs. And it would just run through all of them. So this like, what is it? 9 different programs. It's 21 minutes. Then we have 5:26. I don't know. It's about, I guess, like 40 minutes in total. I think if you hit it, it gives you the full amount of time. Okay. No, it's not showing the full time.
Denise,
Anyways,
can I go back in and play those? Can I go back in and play those myself? Just go in and pick them manually in the.
absolutely. I don't know what just happened here, guys. There's something. I don't know why my screen went black. Hold on. All right, let me stop sharing. I just may have had a little glitch here. Don't know. I don't think it likes that I stopped it. Okay. So I just got a little glitch. Uh, I don't know what to do here. Um, Yikes. It's got am I still sharing my screen?
Yes, you are. Well, no, not your screen. All we can see
No.
is your picture.
Oh. Well, seems to be a glitch here, guys.
Hold on, we've got your screen back now, and it's
It's
showing.
blocked. It's got a black screen on top.
To I don't know. Come on.
Can you tap behind that black screen?
Yeah, I tap there, nothing's happening.
Karen's suggesting restarting the Odyssey.
Yeah.
You can see that behind.
Okay, why isn't it showing though? Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. So unfortunately, this does not have load your last session like the Genius did. So we would have to start over here. Now, you don't have to leave your voice or vowel. I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna skip through this because you already did that. Hold on here. I'm gonna agree to the medical disclaimers here. And I am just going to play. It is my intention that these frequencies are going to be for Cece again. And we can start with first, I believe brain pain came up for you. And it was 1, 2, and 4, I believe. So let's start with phase 1, and we can just go through this again for 30 seconds if you would like. Okay, so we did brain phase 1. You know, Cece, I just did want to check in though. How, I don't know if you have a sense, your feeling of just kind of being out of sorts, has it shifted at all for you? Is there any kind of change that you're noticing?
I'd have to say that it did. I'm very sensitive to tones, and so I've just been getting rush after rush in my body. So I'd have to say that yes, I am feeling different, better. I am feeling better.
Great. And your cough? I mean, I know that you're probably not coughing all the time, but do you feel like if you take a deep breath do you feel any kind of clearing of any type, any
Um,
kind?
I've been having a hard time breathing, so I just was trying to do the breath, and it does seem to be a little clearer. I can't really say for sure because I'm not going to start coughing and all of
Yeah,
that
no,
right
I
now.
don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do that, but
So,
okay,
no.
good. So I just wanted to check in. Let's we'll go through the other areas that showed up again. So again, I'll just put brain phase 2. I'll play that for the entirety of the 32 seconds here. Okay, and now let's just go to brain pain phase 4 for 30 seconds. Okay, so we finished with that one. And then the next thing was the chest cold and antiseptic immune lungs and mucus showed up. So let's just stick with that. Okay, guys, there is a little glitching now. I can't be sure. I'm also using this on the MacBook Air, so it could be that it's because of my Air that this might be glitching a little bit, but you still are getting those seconds in. So I'm just going to move on to your lungs. Okay, and finally, let's just do the mucus. Okay, I just want to answer a question here. Pam, I think you may have come in a little bit late, but your question is, can the frequencies from the Odyssey be sent long distance like from the Genius? So to answer that, That is what I am doing right now. And it is with my intention that I am sending these frequencies to CC. Unlike the Genius, this doesn't have a spot where you enter the person's name or birth date or any specifics like that. We did initially take her voice and we ran the scan using her voice, and then with the intention, sending these frequencies through the quantum field. When it glitched and we went back out, I did not have her do the voice again. We're just going back to resend the same programs that showed up before, but with the intention that they are going to her. So I hope that makes sense for you. And let's move on to the last thing that we worked on, which was organ balance and harmony. And I'm not going to do the general stem this time because we did already work on that. And the ones that showed up that were really needed, the 3 did not include general stem. So I trust that you already got those. I'm just going to work on the gallbladder for 30 seconds. Okay, Pam, not a problem for joining late. I just knew that by your question that you weren't sure how it was working. Okay, so we did gallbladder. Now I'm going to go down to mental, emotional, and energetic. And I'm just going to let that run for 30 seconds. Okay, and lastly, let's work on the sensory. And we're going to run this for 30 seconds. Okay, so, and I'm just going to click go playlist here. Okay, so so the playlist, when I pressed it, those were the ones I had clicked manually. So just to demonstrate that for a second, if you wanted to create like your own playlist, what was going to play, you just select them yourself. And then you can go to playlist and it will play then consecutively in order. So you don't have to, you could just let it run basically. And I do know that there are some people that have had really great results. They've, played them overnight and they're really seeing really, really wonderful results. And that's great. I'm so happy to hear it. I don't know that I would always subscribe to that, to play it that long, because sometimes it could really disrupt your sleep. It could overstimulate you. But listen, I would always say when you're using this, follow your gut. It's not going to hurt you. So if you can't sleep because it's overstimulating you, then, maybe don't play it during your sleep, just play it during the day or see how your body is. You don't want to, if you play it too long, sometimes there is the possibility, especially if you run all the detox ones, that you could potentially go into a healing crisis. Now, what is a healing crisis? You could start feeling flu-like symptoms. You could get a rash or anything like that. If those things ever do happen, does not mean that it's hurting you or that something bad happened. It's actually telling you something really good is happening and your body is getting rid of all these things and you're working through it. So I wouldn't really back off. You don't want to run it to the point of feeling miserable, obviously, with these, but you don't want to, don't shy away from it thinking that you're hurting yourself or you're creating, that it's making you sick. It's not making you sick. It's actually, um, your body is getting rid of all these things and working through these energies. So just keep that in mind. Healing crisis, although sometimes can be a nuisance, is a positive thing. So
So
see,
these, I
yep.
was just, so these ones then, maybe you would run them for a day or something and just sort of maybe wait and see how you feel, or you could do another scan.
I would start slow. I would never subscribe to recommending starting running something for like hours at a time. I always feel when you're working with these frequencies, short spurts are better. That isn't so much how this program is necessarily designed. It doesn't mean that it's bad. Um, and again, it may be what's, beneficial for somebody. I would start off slow, just because if you're not used to frequencies, you want to just be gentle on your body. Sometimes your body needs to work up to be able to take in frequencies for a longer period of time. So, and you might want to do it during the day and not during the night. Again, it's a question of, knowing your body and knowing how it reacts to these subtle frequencies. Let's see, there are two questions here. Pam says deep sleep really does the opposite for me. Pam, what do you mean by that? Do you mean if you run it during your sleep, you don't sleep, or do you mean when you run it when you don't sleep, it doesn't help your sleep still?
Well, when I'm trying to sleep at night, I'll turn it on and it just makes me very uncomfortable, and I can't sleep at all.
Have you ever
Even
tried
if I
running
feel
a
like
program
I'm sleepy a little bit, I cannot sleep. So
but
I
have
don't know why it does that, but that happens. I've tried it many times and it does the same thing for me every time. So I don't use that
you're
anymore.
playing it when you go to bed every time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm suggesting play the frequencies during the day.
The
And
deep sleep, you mean?
sure, yeah, play them during
Okay.
the day, because it's not to say that you're playing it so it's going to help you sleep in that moment. It's balancing frequencies that are overall going to help you sleep better. Maybe, it could be a number of different things that need to be balanced that will help your body when you do go to sleep. Could be your circadian rhythm, it could be a lot of things, but you want to balance it. So it's not meant to like be played necessarily at night, but oftentimes when we play the frequencies, it causes a lot of mind activity, and that's what keeps you up at night. So I would try using the deep sleep during the day and then see
Okay.
if it helps your sleep at night.
Okay. Okay. And I did make the mistake of using the detox one time. And I was just sitting in the toilet the whole next day.
Yeah. Well, better than in. So, but yeah, again, these are long programs. So, start out slow. You don't necessarily, in my opinion, always have to listen to it for this full set of time. And certainly if anybody muscle tests or use a pendulum, test how long, what's best for your body. Your body is going to know the answers better than anybody else. So that would be
Yeah.
my recommendation
Yeah,
on that.
that was my mistake. Actually, I didn't realize each program was that long.
So yeah, they're long. So, when we work with the Genius, again, I only work with, 30 seconds or 1 minute amount of times to try to get those rectifications up. So, you need to play with it a little bit. But again, I always recommend starting slow. And lastly, Barbara is asking, I play it at night as I am settling to go to sleep. I sleep deeper, even without sleep programs selected. So again, everybody is different. So you just have to know your body, know yourself. It's just a process. So experiment. If you play it at night, does it work for you? Great. You can do it at night. If it doesn't work for you, then do it during the day. So that is, that's where at 3 o'clock, does anybody, oh, I have something to tell everybody. So for those of you who are watching this, if you are interested in the PEMF and Odyssey app, mention today's Thursday live and get 10% off. So, if there is anybody out there that doesn't have it, today's your day to get a little extra discount on it. So,
Denise, can I ask you a question? I actually sent you a question because I didn't know, but Dr. Deb keeps talking about, 3 buttons in the beginning that would help us select, about the
sites.
parasites and all that. And I don't see anything like that. And she's talked a couple times about that. So
To ask her, Pam, I'm not sure specifically. I do know, I'm pretty sure that Full Moon is one of those programs. And then again, if you go into,
she says there are 3 buttons right in the beginning. She's mentioned a couple of times, and I will actually see if I have that recorded, because that part I was very concerned about, because I don't have it. And she said you can go and then go into what parasites or what fungus or whatever is.
I'm just trying to see, there's the inner terrain. She might mean here, the first 3 cleanse. The
no,
I'm not sure. I would have to find out.
Yeah, could you, because I have requested a couple times.
Sure,
She said
I'll
that
find
she-
out. I'll
Yeah,
find out and get back to you. And
Okay.
Karen, I guess, left. She said, thank you, Karen. And
thank
she's
you. That's
tuckered out from the
helps. Yeah,
frequency.
it really helps. Thank you.
So you're welcome. And again, if anybody has any questions, you can email me at Denise@Inside Health Apps, and I am happy to help answer your questions. I hope you enjoyed just doing something a little bit different this week and working with the Odyssey app. If I could just get, how many here already has the Odyssey app or the PEMF? Do you all have it already?
Yes.
I do. I do.
Never used it though.
Yeah, so now maybe you'll use it a little bit
Yeah.
more.
Oh,
Great.
it was amazing. And is there any precautionaries on when not to use the PEMF on somebody or on myself? Or
Precautionaries. I mean,
if they've been vaccinated or anything like that, or is there any issue with any kind of graphene in the body if you're using that on the body?
I'm a big muscle tester on that stuff. I always ask before doing stuff whether, I know that maybe not all of you can muscle test but I always do test for that. I will ask, I think Karen hopped off. I will ask Karen on that. I know that she works a lot with that, with the graphenes for precautions, but I haven't noticed any myself. So, just obvious things. I mean, obviously, we're always going to advise you to check with your doctor first if you have any questions about using any of this. That's why we have the medical disclaimer there. So if you're unsure in any way, I would send you back to a medical professional. I don't know that they're going to give you the answer that you want because they may not understand the technology, but I am not a doctor, so that is the best I can instruct you on that.
The doctors don't know anything about it. So if you ask the doctor, they are saying you're wasting your money and your time.
Well, we'll let since you all know the results that you have gotten after using these, we'll let the results speak for itself. And Cece, just before you go, again, from the beginning, when we first started, you were at a 6 out of 10 for your feeling out of sorts. What would you put that out at
Yeah,
now?
I feel much better. I really do. I feel much better, much more clear in my head. So I'd probably say about a 2.
Okay, great. That's a
Yeah.
huge difference.
Yeah.
And so it does that also include like less dizziness or just
Yes. Yeah. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to play those. I'm going to lay down and then just play those, the whole things or something like that. Maybe a bit later, just have some time in between.
yeah,
Um,
I would suggest have some time in between. Don't forget to hydrate, stay hydrated. The frequencies are powerful. You know, even though they weren't showing up for me, sometimes I mean, I can feel, you know, I probably needed some of those frequencies myself, so I could feel them going right through me, but they are pretty powerful. And again, I know that your cough was only about a 3. I don't know if you can sense anything.
well, I'm not, if I started coughing, I was just concerned about the mucus that just wasn't going away. So I've been taking supplements and stuff like that for it, but I think that it will be better. I just, yeah, I don't
Okay.
want to start
And isn't
coughing.
that amazing too, that, you know, even though we didn't put your name in, with the intention alone and your voice, obviously, the lungs and mucus showed up for you.
Exactly.
And the brain,
Yeah.
which would have to do with your dizziness and everything. So, you know, this technology never ceases to amaze me on just like
Well, this might be my new favorite, the Odyssey. And
so.
I appreciate it. Thank you. It seems to be easier because it's really complicated, the genius. There's so many levels to it.
Well, you can go sometimes, you know, you could just go to you know, to different levels, and of course you can they're different, they're similar but different, certainly. And there's, you know, you want to, in my opinion, having both of them in your toolbox
It's
is
amazing.
amazing. So, yeah.
Thank you so
Anyway,
much for allowing me to have to be the person again, the volunteer. Thank you.
you're welcome. And do let me know tomorrow or later if you feel like that you're seeing continued improvement and how these final symptoms that have been lingering for you, if they
Sure. I will
end up
do that. Yeah.
going
Thank you.
away.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you. Thank you, Denise.
You're welcome. Thanks, everyone.